What's up everybody, Jeffrey McAvoy. It's so good of you to be back. Welcome to yet another episode of the maintenance about the Steyr-Puch Pinzgauer. Today we're going to be addressing the brakes. So we need to inspect and adjust the drum brakes. It's drums all around. And we're also going to fix the starter motor. So that's an in-depth view of the starter motor. And how about we sprinkle that with a bit of an in-depth view of the relocation of the ignition module, which can be interesting as well for other owners who do have the PINS SSI system. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in. Toolbox number 1, toolbox number 2. Good old bottle jack. Sip of coffee. A bit of this. And away we go. Breaker bar and torque wrench. There we go. So lifting a vehicle this heavy is no joke, never is. Even if it's a light vehicle, so chocking the wheels is the first thing you're going to do. That's why they're called breaker bars. These wheels are lug centric, meaning that it's the lugs center the wheel onto the hub. Now there's a special tool to do this, which I don't have, so I'll show you how to do that later. Up it goes. Power of hydraulics. Okay, that's a decent height, and then up. Now I can use this here, and this. Right. Seems half decent. Let's see if we. And of course it isn't enough because the wheel is touching the ground again. Okay, so here we go. Right. There we go. Okay. So I can feel it drag. I can hear it drag. That's the hard spot right there. And then it releases, and I have the feeling it's dragging on the leading brake pad, yeah, or brake shoe, as it were. Okay. Of course, all the weight of the wheel is on the last one. Ow. Yep. There we go. Try not to break your back. Now, using extra care, I need to rest at least the chassis, there you go, to relieve the jack. Now, this is going to be interesting. Plenty of mud, of course. So we can, yep. There it comes. Oh, come on. Damn it. Come on, you son of a... There we go. Okay, interesting. Yep, so it's been ripping the liner off. Right here we have the hydraulic part, which I have replaced fairly recently. And the adjuster is right here at the back. So it's got this little starred nut, which you're supposed to adjust with. Okay, so let's just give all of this a good clean, a good scrub. There we go, better. Now this is the adjuster. See, it stays fixed in between the two brake shoes, and this is the part which actually adjusts. So you either retract and diminish the size of this device, or you can make it bigger. So that's how you adjust it. Now, thankfully, when I passed it through MOT, I did some preventive maintenance on it, and it seems to have paid off. There's only a drop of water in there, so I'm fairly happy about that. Obviously, I'm going to take it apart, grease it again, and then slap it back in place. While we're in there and the sun is shining, what you can do is lift up the lip of these rubber dust boots and check okay, check that these pistons here are nice and dry, as it does seem to be the case. A little too much, in fact. I hope it isn't seized. I replaced this not long ago, so it should be all right. Now, I might be wrong. Oh yeah, it's seized all right. Damn it. These things don't come cheap. It's seized already? What the hell? See, this one's free. See? I'm not going to take it out, otherwise I'm going to have to bleed the brakes again, but that one's free. That's good. But this one is seized. Crap. Hence why it wasn't braking beautifully well. Hope that this is going to do the trick. That is not good at all. Okay, doesn't seem to be wanting to move. Thing won't budge, and it's brand fucking new. It is a bit of a hindrance right there. I'm not too happy about that. So what it's doing now, when you're pressing the brakes, it only pushes this one out and not the other, which is of course not good. And I don't want to break it. Well, I'll be damned. Ah, there we go. Give it some more of the good stuff. There we go. Okay. We will be bleeding that, most def. Okay, so get them boots here ready. You know what? There you go. There we go. And dry anything that can drip. You don't want this thing running all over the place. These areas here, these flat areas, are of the utmost importance. That's where the brake shoes rest, so they do need to be lubricated somewhat. Now it's time to inspect the lining. Now it has a very decent thickness right here, and it looks like it's worn in a regular way, so I'd say these are not too old. They're in a decent shape. There's no traces of oil on them. If you do have some oil, throw them away right away. That's a lot of aways. Just throw them away if there's some oil on them. These are okay. There's still a bit of mud baked in, but I'm pretty confident that'll go away. Try not to touch the lining with your fingers, otherwise you're going to put some grease on them and alter their efficiency. Now before I go and clean the other one, you can actually see that this is where this one was grabbing onto because it was set a little too tight. Now I don't know if the camera's picking this up. It's very difficult to shoot in full sunshine, but here it's sort of, well, muddy brown because it's pretty much mud, and that part was grabbing constantly on the brake drum, generating heat, making the fuel economy not that great. Not that it's a point of concern, mind you. And you can look here is one of the areas where the lining is resting on the back plate. There it is. So I'll give these a good clean. Now regarding these little areas, I'm just going to put a tiny dab of copper grease. So I've just got a tiny bit of that stuff on the tip of my fingers, and that's more than what you need, in fact. I'm going to go across all of these like so. And that's more than what you need. Now here's the adjusting part right here. It's really full of the stuff, but I'll just add just a tiny bit on the threads like so, and that'll get caught up in the threads down below, and lubricate them and make sure that this never seizes up. Very important part of the braking system. And well, there's a bit of water in there, so rinse that out. Add just a bit of the copper stuff, copper grease right there, so it can rotate freely. There we go, and that's all. Now let's put everything back together. Right, so that's how it should be. Okay, so now you need to slap that back on there, and it's full sunshine and you can't see shit. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, so I'll just do it like so. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Watch your fingers. Okay, and so go in the hole back there, and that's not an innuendo. Got the pin in there already. There we go. There it is. Hello, little pin. There we go. Need to push it on from the other side, so. And then grab this, and of course it's off the spring now. I used to be able to do this by hand, man. Where did I go wrong? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, there it is. For the 900th time. Here we go. There we go. Press on it. Okay. Where's that stupid thing? Here it is. It's obviously sideways. And come on. And come on. Nope. Doesn't want to go in. Why, I don't know. It's just, that's just life. That's just life. You know, when life gives you lemons, make some lemonade. I've been making lemonade for so long right now. So many years of lemonade. Kind of fed up. Okay. There we go. That was easy. Right. So, next. Set the pin and put this right through, and the spring is gone, and that's fine. I don't need the spring anyway. That spring. So keep pushing on that. Okay, so yes, that's very good. And then hold on tight to this device right here. Place it over the spring and lose the spring, and lose your mind a bit, just a bit, and then grab this thing again and do it with one hand. Here it comes. Right. So I don't know if you all can see this. Pushing. There we go. Push and twist. There we go. And that is done and dusted. Right there. Okay. And where's the spring? There it is. There's the spring. And now I want to bet the thing's too far. I want to fucking bet. No, just okay. Good. So like so, and then set it to the minimum. Place in here. There we go. Fantastic. There we go. There we go. Ah, yes. Of course. There we go. Perfect. And just remember that the jack is supporting the axle only, and the stump is supporting the vehicle. Just thought I'd point that out. There. Yeah. Now that's what I call cleaning the dishes. Okay, so what I like to do as well is to run like a smear of grease on the flange, but really just ever so thinly, just to make sure that that this doesn't like stay seized on. So very, very light smear of grease. Okay. Oh yeah. Another thing that I forgot to mention, never ever be tempted to clean these with sandpaper. Never ever do that, because the sandpaper that you're going to use is going to get embedded into the lining, so you really never want to do that. It's very bad practice. There we go. Okay, so now for the adjusting part. To set these, you need to set 2 wheel bolts onto the hub. And then we have this. Now this will allow you to access the adjuster on the inside. There is a little copper gasket, which is recommended to be changed every time. I'll skip this once and get it up onto the adjuster. Should be able to see it. There it is. Should be able to see it inside and get adjusting. You're going to want to go as tight as you can, I think. There are hundreds of ways of doing this. Now go ahead and depress the foot brake pedal once or twice. Set them just a bit. There we go. So you don't want it to be dragging flat out, of course. Now yep, they are pretty much fully locked. Okay, and now you unblock them, I guess. But just a few notches until it spins freely. So to the forwards, there you go, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 notches. It's still dragging. Until you hear it barely drag at all. It shouldn't fully. There we go, that's just about right. Still a tiny bit where it still drags, but let me just press the brakes again. There we go, ever so lightly on one spot right there, and that's fine, that's just fine. Just a tiny bit. Reinstate the seal, just a dab of grease on the threads, which will then be distributed over here, making sure that it will never seize. There we go. That much torque is fine. Then remove the lugs. There we go, that's just about what we need. Now I usually place the lug at 12 o'clock so I know exactly where it is. Watch your fingers. There we go. And since this wheel is lug centric, in that it is the lugs themselves which center the wheel, you have to go rather progressively. Some will say to lubricate the studs, some won't. That's entirely up to you. As you can see, the lugs are not yet centered. So instead of, well, you know, I don't know who has a tool to actually center this. Lug-centric wheels are a very common thing. There we go. Just bring them up and it'll pretty much center itself. Just barely nip them up with the weight of your own ratchet. And here comes the advantage of having lockers. You go up to the cabin, lock the rear differential, nip these up, by hand. Give them visual confirmation and tighten this to, I think, 200 Newton meters. There we go. There we go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's one down, 3 more to go. I'll just keep on doing this, and my other self is going to show you how to recondition the starter motor. Well, about to pay the price for my negligence and stupidity. The starter motor of my Pinzgauer here is completely seized up due to the fact that it has been submerged in muddy water for over an hour. Check out that video if you haven't already. Now, thing is, the little teeth here are no longer engaging. They have actually seized onto the shaft. I did have troubles with the starter motor as it was sort of engaging intermittently, when required to do so. So it was already playing up anyway. Down to work. First, we'll give it a good degrease, because it is fairly dirty. Oh, so that's why it didn't work anymore. I brought some mud back with me. So yeah, this thing was full of mud and water, so carrying on. Right, well, need I say any more? Wow. Okay. It's going to be expensive. They always make it look so freaking easy in the books, damn it. Ah, there we go. Okay. Remember, I had to put this thing back, so alright. Okay, about time I'll be shopping for parts, I'd say. These over there. Ah, there we go. Got it unstuck. Perfect. Going to need a new rubber gasket. Right, well, time to order some parts. I'll chuck this in the ultrasonic cleaner, and that'll be it. Ah, son of a bitch, motherfucker! Ow! Ah, shit! Jesus! That pinched like fucking crazy, man. Jeez, I was sure that I was going to need stitches for that. Fuck me, man. Holy crap. Wow, I really got lucky that time. Look at that. Anyway. Ridiculous. Yeah. So here it is, after 2 times 20 minutes in the ultrasonic bath and a bit of fettling. Here are the cleaned parts. Now hopefully we should be back on track for another 20 years. These bushes I have just replaced as well, and they are self-lubricating, so they require nothing, so to speak. I will lightly grease the shaft here with some molybdenum based grease. There we go. Just to avoid rusting, I guess. This is how you want it. Nice and free. I had a puller somewhere. Oh man, I wish I... Oh, there it is. F me, man. It was right there. It was right there the whole time. A f***ing puller. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. Okay, so see, now it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. This is going to act as a stop. If this were the other way around, then it could pop out and that would suck. Okay, so now to shim this brother. Okay, how do we know how many shims we need? We don't. Okay. Do we just put back the number of shims that was in there in the first place? I don't know. This specific part was no longer available, so I'm going to have to reuse it. It's just a rubber ring. Hopefully nothing else is specific about it. Which one is this for? I don't know. I have 2 O-rings. There's one for the back here, and this one for over here. Or is it the opposite? That I do not know. This fits here, seems like it fits. Seems like it fits. I got a 50-50 chance of getting them inverted, and guess what? I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get the 50% of the inversion. If that makes any sense. Probably not. Yeah, no, definitely this has nothing to do there. This is probably for over there. Okay, so go. Yeah, tell you what, just for good measure, give it a bit of molybdenum grease. There we go, so you can seat properly. There we go, like so. And slap this on here, like so. Seems fitting, right? Oh no, this is not good. Shite. This is not too good. Okay. So, tell you what. I'll do like so. Seems half decent. We'll have to make do with that. We will have to make do with that. So this is how it's going to go down. I will already slip these in. There we go. It will hold by its elasticity. Was expecting it to do that. Very good, very good, very good. And there we go. So let's see how that fits. There's only one way to put this, so you really can't go wrong. Oh, fuck me, man. I forgot to put the fucking mechanism, you fucking moron. Oh my god. Okay, there's no way. Oh, okay, so guys, I'm doing this so you don't have to. Oh, hell, man. I bet you're all sitting there saying, no, Jeff, look, you moron, you forgot to put the fucking... Ugh. Okay. Right. This is where I pained to take the whole fucking thing off. So I am going to grease this. Yes, sirree. Just a dab. Just a dab. Just a dab here and here. Don't think it's 100% necessary, but I'll do it anyway. Because that's what life's about. Oh, I'll give this a quick clean. Be right back. There we go. And I actually got another one of these. Yep, there it is. Ta-da! So that's where this goes. Oh, hello. So I can now remove this one. Remove and discard and install this one in its stead. There we go. Give it a dab of grease. You don't want to put too much grease, otherwise it dries out and goes hard, which is usually not a good thing. There you go. See, this is the axis where it's going to pivot. And yeah. So, was there a front and rear? Probably is, and I did not know which way it goes. Okay. I'll just stick it that way and we'll f***ing see. Remember how much of a pain it was to take it off? Well, here we are back again, putting it back on. Okay, so, oh my god, step by step. I do this so you don't have to, people. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, there we go, goodbye. Okay, so, oh, this is going to be such a fucking pain. So yeah, here we go. This thing has to go somehow in there. How the fuck do you expect to do that? Like in the manual, it's pictured out also so simply. They make it look so fucking easy. Okay, damn it. Okay, so you shove the thing in there. Oh, this is such a pain in the ass. Guys, if there's a technique to do this without it being a pain in the ass, do let me know in the comments, please. You are going to be my hero. And everybody else is in that matter, for that matter. Okay, so I will mess around with that later, I think. Can I get around it like so? Oh my goodness, yes, 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 yes. Ha ha ha. There we go. So I'm not going to take it out, but you have to flip it around and reverse it and do something weird, and then it goes in. All done. Yes, getting somewhere with my life. That's good. What do you think of that? Okay, so got the shims in there, got that in there. Okay, things are looking good. So quick trick, there's a little notch in here which corresponds to the notch up here. There's only one way to fit it, so that means, plus you align the larger holes for the through bolts that go from the rear, and there we go. There we go. How tight was that? I can't remember, but these are tiny, tiny little bolts, so it shouldn't be too tight. There we go. That seems tight enough for me. Oh, okay. So I have no idea if the shimming here is correct. What I do know for sure is that it spins nicely. I like that. And that comes and goes as it should. And now for the fun task of aligning this thing. There we go. Just get my pin. Okay, like so. And there we go. So I've got the new little washer right here. And in we go. Just thread it through. Thread it through. There we go. Give it a bit of a whack. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So that is going to serve as like a bearing surface. And I've got this one as well, which is a rubber grommet, pretty much. Here it is. Tiki tiki tiki. Give it a squirt of WD-44, good measure. Okay, the f***ing thing is stuck already. I f***ed something up. There we go. There we go, so it has to be aligned in there. Don't fudge that up. Woo! The camera just told me movie recording has been stopped. I have not authorized you to stop. There we go. Okay, and it still spins beautifully. Okay. Making progress. Very good. Again, next day. Quick note. There is something that you have to measure is the out of round of the commutator right here, which has to be within 0.3 millimeters. That's 3/10 of a millimeter is the out of round. If it is out of round, you have to correct this by giving it a fine cut on the lathe. And I'm going to voluntarily skip this step because it worked before, and you know, I just want to get this thing back up and running. So yes, I am cutting corners. I am well aware of this. Another thing, note to self: the mating surfaces over here and on the other side are supposed to be coated with some sealing compound. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm definitely going to take these out just to give them a quick clean. These are original Bosch parts, as you can tell by the little logo here. And the little sticker here is telling me that this has already been rebuilt in 1979. Pretty cool, eh? Now remember, the bearing inside here is of the self-lubricating type. It's made of some sort of brass, bronze, something like that. Just put a tad of grease here, just a bit. Just a bit. And here as well, especially like so. You have to be rather rather light with the grease on this. Now this is molybdenum grease compound, which is supposedly good for areas with high temperature applications. So there we go. So just got the sealant compound right here. So you don't need to put much. Just put a bit of a lip on there and a skim of the stuff on the surface. Should keep water out, or at least save a bit of time for when it goes underwater again, because even though I'm going to avoid at all costs the situation which I have been, which I put myself in last time, because that was not cool, and but this should definitely help. So there is a stamping mark right there. And just join these together like so. Okay. See, what the trick with this is going to be, focus, hello, there we go, is not to put your pliers fully in, just put them halfway and to swirl it like so, slip it on, and that should be it. And that's the plan, of course. That's the main plan. Oh man, I f***ed everything up. Okay, that's f*** me, man. I do not recommend doing it this way. Okay, that's why. You guys must be thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? And you'd be right. You'd be absolutely right. What the hell am I doing? I don't even know myself. Some days I really haven't forgotten to be an idiot. And there are just some days like that, where you're just a complete nitwit. Complete. It's actually much easier to fit these afterwards, in fact. Why? No, yeah, that's the thing. Fit these little brushes afterwards when you're done. Don't do it like me, man. I'm doing this so you don't have to. Yeah, so I'm doing it that way so you don't have to. That's the thing. That's my saying. Yep. Okay, good. So I'm going to degrease this, give it a lick of paint, and clean this cap, slap it back on the back, and it's ready to be put back into the car. Obviously, I'm going to adjust the solenoid as well. That's something that needs to be done. I know that the well, this thing is very dirty. Well, I'll clean this up. Okay, so sorry for the background noise. That's the fan working right now, the extractor fan. This is now covered in some zinc coating. It has to dry for 24 hours before being primed and painted. So another check that can be done is the engagement solenoid, which needs to have, while it's completely compressed, a distance of 34 millimeters. Give or take one. So you have to measure from the flange, the mounting flange right there, and the center point of the pin right here. And so I have, while it's fully engaged, so depressing it completely, and I'm at 34.5, 35, sort of, give or take. So that's good. if it weren't the case, then you'd have to untighten this lock nut and reposition the plunger, so to speak, so that it is within specification. So that's another check that you want to perform. 35, yeah, 34 and a half, 35, that's good. I'm going to leave it as it is. The thing is, if the distance is not correct, say it's not enough, for example, the teeth here will not fully engage on the flywheel, and you're going to be causing some damage to the engagement teeth and your flywheel, and you're going to have starter motor problems. So if your starter motor rips at some point, then this might simply be the cause. Nearly done, guys. And here it is, the finished product. I intentionally left this as it is. It's aluminium cap. I don't really bother about it being that way, but the rest looks brand spanking new. And I also liked the rebuild tag dating back to 1979. I really wanted to keep that, so that's also the reason why it's still there. So there you have it, ready to go back into the rig and hopefully serve another 20 years or so of a useful life. So it has now been reinstalled, and here's where I relocated the ignition module. It used to be, as per the instructions, it used to be down here, and so obviously as soon as I sank it the other time, it got wet and the ignition died, and that's why it stalled. So now the module is in the place of the heater. So now that the starter motor is in place, there we go. Realised that I lost the screw here. So the original breather on the Pinzgauer gearbox is a very clever device. It has this tiny little ball and floating around in this inside this nylon cup. And with gravity, it just rests on the tip of this little cap right here. Nifty piece of kit, but it is prone to water ingress if it is submerged, as I have realized. So I've fabricated. I just made this this little adapter to modify the original breather, and I am going to crimp this so that it doesn't go nowhere, and obviously add a bit of sealant inside before assembling it. And I can use just the standard 6mm rubber hose to extend the height of the breather system. On the other end, I'm simply going to put this this little tube as a like breather, so to speak. So there we go, like so. So it's going to be pointing upwards, but fluid or dust or anything cannot enter directly. That's the idea. Hello again. Back to the brake system. Well, as you can tell by my hands, I've been at it for a while my colleague right there has been showing you about the starter motor. Anyhow, the front right brake is a catastrophe. not only is there a leak on the wheel cylinder, on one of the wheel cylinders, which is drenched in oil, there's also a leak on the portal output oil seal, which is not good. There's a seal behind this flange right here, which is busy leaking. So there's a strong smell of gear oil right now. Love it. But I don't love it inside the brakes. Now, obviously, brakes and oil don't mix very well. So that means, basically, bottom line, I'm in for a portal rebuild on the passenger side. And if you want to do things properly, you're going to have to do the other side as well. So that is out of my reach for now. So I'm going to have to bear in mind that there's literally no brakes on the front right. Now that's not a surprise, because when I would brake hard, it would swerve to the left, indicating that, well, there's no brakes to the right. Now I understand why. So, yeah. I'm not too happy about that right now. I did know, well, yeah, no, it's just a pain in the ass. I wasn't expecting it, and it's not good, because not only do I not have the tooling to be able to undertake this kind of job, it's big work. Even to get the portal gear off, you need a special puller tool, which I don't have. And it's extremely, like, prohibitively expensive. I think it's like 600 euros or something, just for the tool. And I'd have to go shopping for, you know, if it's just to replace the seal, it's not worth it. I mean, if I'm going to take the portal off, I'm going to change the seal, I'm going to change the bearings, I'm going to check the gears, I'm going to, you know, so you're down the rabbit hole, pretty much. Off for thousands and thousands of euros, which I don't have. So we're going to leave it as it is for now, and just bear that in mind. But of course, there is not going to be any like extreme off-roading until I get the brakes sorted out. Brakes are extremely important to have. Yeah, so a bit of a disappointment, but well, that's the way it is. It's 1973, so all of this is probably original. I am still curious as to why the rear right portal is different to all the others. If you have an answer to that, please let me know. And, well, yeah, there you go. Moving on. Well, that was interesting. Disappointing maybe a little, but interesting nonetheless. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and maybe you learned a thing or two. In any case, let me know in the comments. It's always a pleasure to read through them. And yeah, well, that's life. There's a lot more things to do to this Pinzgauer. I knew there was a bit of bodywork to do. Rebuilding the portals is something exciting to look forward to. When I'll get around to doing it, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, at any rate, make sure that you never trust Jack. You know, he thinks he's cool and stuff, lifting all the weights and everything, but you really never want to trust him fully. Make sure that you use proper security, like a good old tree stump. These are very reliable. You know, he's the type to run off with your woman, so be mindful of that. In any case, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. You crazy motherfucker. Lifting 3.5 tons like it was nothing. Always showing off, huh?